Red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light, red light.
Folks, he's been here once. He's been here twice. Why not go for the triple? Folks, welcome back. The Brilliance, good as gold, James Ellis.
Soul Sessions, the hat trick. Thank you for having me on. I had to get a beverage just for being on this podcast. Appreciate you having me on so much. It's nice to be able to talk about new things. So the Brilliance is always happy to be on the Soul Sessions.
Oh, thank you, brother. I would have a beer, but my beer machine has gone conk, so I'm stuck with the Coke and rum because Jack Daniels is too expensive with the prices right now. So,
wow, that's heavy for a midweek, but fair play. I appreciate it.
Heavy for a Scotsman, but we survive as always. But you know what, James, let's get right into it. Obviously, the last time you appeared in here was 2023, and our journey to episode 100. You were a part of that, which was featured a lot of returning guests. And obviously, 2024, it's come and gone. It's gone in the wind. It's in the past. It's in the rearview mirror. So how do you feel reflecting back on that year for yourself as a professional wrestler?
Personally, I thought 2023 was an amazing year. Definitely a year where I had a lot more opportunities than I thought I'd get anywhere near. But looking back on it, it was just like sort of a nice beginning to what 2024 would be, because 2024 was incredible. Like define good as gold, and probably that is it. I traveled to different countries to wrestle. I got to wrestle on like OTT in Britain. There were Brampton shows. I got to do Rev Pro debut. Lots of being involved with like Chaos Attack and New Wave, and Riot Cabaret as well. Some massive shows was on last year. So 2024 was amazing. You know what I mean? Like I'm a very positive person. I try to be and find the best in just about everything. So, you know, I think the last like 5 years of my life, I think I've always tried to find the positive, but you can't like not sit back and think, wow, you know, what a good time. What a time to learn. What a time to get better. And also the main part of it for me, like especially as these years have gone on and with wrestling, and I'm only like 6 years in now, like I've enjoyed every one a bit more, and even when the pressure has probably been on more, I've still really tried to get the fun out of it and come back, and regardless of if I need feedback or there was something I needed to take from that was like a learnable moment. You know, I've always tried to do that, but also do it with a smile on my face, because it's a gift at the end of the day. Just like the Brilliance is.
Fair play indeed. You know, it's tough when people do something they love, and it's so grindy as well, because, you know, according to Cage Match, you had 89 matches in 2024 as well, so you were quite busy.
I had more than that.
Oh, well, Cage Match is a liar. How dare it lie?
Cage Matches. Yeah, but I like the fact you've done your research. I don't know what doesn't get counted, but all in all, I think last year I had about 120 matches. So there's quite a few missed there. But I've done a lot of Welsh wrestling shows as well, which I always enjoy doing, up and around Wales. I don't know if they get counted, but they shouldn't, as like I think Welsh wrestling, and not that style of show, but in a way, like the working in front of like the holiday camps and everything is such a valuable and fundamental way for a wrestler to improve and get very good experience working in front of big crowds, and understanding how to work in front of them sort of crowds and how to work them, you know, and seeing what's good and what works and what doesn't for you.
No, absolutely, mate, as well. And I've always preached on, you know, every single episode I have somebody on, I always say the Welsh scene is the best in the UK because of what it produces and the sense of community within it. You know, since you've been on, I had a lot more people that are in that Welsh scene come on, from Duke Degnan, Jay Joshua, Alexander Vane, all of them talking about how the scene has just grown over the last year as well. James, do you feel that as well, of just how Welsh wrestling has grown in 2024?
Yeah, I think from the ground up, really, it's and that's from the training schools that are available. I think that it personally, in my opinion, is the best scene to be a wrestler who's just starting out, or someone who wants to maybe improve upon their skills and have opportunity to do that in form of like multiple different schools, and also, you know, shows available to them. I can't, there's not many weekends where there isn't a show in Wales going on, to be honest with you, which is an actual testament to the people who run the promotions, who are back, and the people who come to watch as well. Like there's a lot of return customers to different shows who will follow what's going on in each show, because, you know, sometimes crowd likes me in a certain place and then the crowd doesn't like me in a lot of the places. So, you know, it's a very big testament to the scene as a whole that we've built, from the coaches down, and the people who invested their time in wanting to make this scene as good as possible, that there is now, I think, an audience for people to come and watch wrestling and enjoy it and follow the dreams and the people who are from Wales trying to make it not just here but everywhere.
No, absolutely, mate, as well. And you kind of see that spotlight as well when, you know, AEW came over and did Dynamite and Collision in Cardiff as well. You know, they could have done it in, you know, somewhere in London, but they particularly chose Cardiff. And I think it just shows to how the talent and the attention on the scene is given the spotlight. You know, I don't know if you went to that show, James. What did you think of AEW hosting their Dynamite and Collision in Cardiff?
I did go. I went to watch. Brother Brendan White was able to get, as part of the training school in New Wave in Newport. He managed to get some complimentary tickets, which we had, and I went to watch. And the biggest part of the night for me was probably getting to watch Jeff Jarrett live, because he's one of my favorite wrestlers, and I just couldn't, and he wasn't announced either. So to get to watch him wrestle, I was just like, this is outstanding. And he had one of the biggest pops tonight as well, to be honest with you. Yeah, so it was class. It was really, really good. Some good wrestling involved. It was just overall a good time and a good show.
I mean, you may say Jeff Jarrett was the most over man that night, but I think the hometown hero, as Jericho was saying, Big Bill, was the most over man on that show.
That match was crazy. Honestly, like he couldn't do it. I think even he was a little bit like, what is going on here? Because he was doing stuff and he was just like, I can't get booed, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, in anything he did. Big Bill was over. But Bill, you know, I'm biased. Jeff Jarrett is like, you know, the last outlaw is just, he's the man.
Hey, Mr. TNA, he is the man. So I got to obviously know your thoughts on that. Jarrett has announced that it's his final year. That the last outlaw is going to ride into the sun, and he wants to go for the AEW World Championship. But obviously, if he doesn't succeed in that, the ending will still be there. As a fan of Jarrett, what do you feel like his legacy will be when his career is fully wrapped up?
I think Jeff Jarrett is someone who's just consistently been able to be within the wrestling world in some sort of prominent position, and that's a testament to his character and his understanding of how to be around the wrestling business. Not only is a great, in my opinion, like, he's a great professional wrestler, but like, he's one of those, you look back on his time, especially in TNA and those early years, and just realize how fundamentally he was in just keeping everything together, like, not from just a backstage standpoint, but also like being a big character on the program, which I think some people go back and they look at Triple H and go, oh, Triple H was champion for 2 years basically. And then I go back and watch Triple H now and I'm like, his matches are outstanding. Like, I watch them and just learn from him, and you understand like how good he actually was. So it's like, you know, hindsight's 2020 though, you know what I mean? You don't realize that when you're watching it, but like maybe in 10 years time you look at certain people now and be like, oh, they were a bit too much involved, but then you might look back at it and go, actually, it was class watching them do it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's one of those things. Wrestling's all opinion. But I think his legacy is like, if you think about it, he hasn't not had a job in wrestling since like 1985 or 1984 or whatever. It's nearly 40 years, like, you know, it tells you exactly what you need to know.
It has been, and when he wraps up, I think he'll be remembered as a great career. Maybe even get a movie. I don't know, get Timothée Chalamet to play as him in a biopic or something like that. I mean, we'll find somebody musical talented to play the old. Obviously, as well, when I had Mark Andrews on the show, he shared that he and Flash nearly made their debut for AEW on the Collision taping, but obviously plans change. But he also said that he would love to see Welsh talent on a stage like that. And the names he mentioned were the likes of Jay Joshua, Leon Cage, Shane Hooker, and yourself. To know that you get that support from somebody like Mark, who's done so many things, who thinks you're ready for a TV platform like an AEW, does that really make you feel like, oh, I am ready for the next stage? Or is there some things you would still love to learn before going on to that stage?
I don't know if I'm ready yet, but it's one of those I've learned in the last year, especially. Like, you don't say no to opportunity and just try and figure it out when you're there. I'd love to do anything like that when it comes to TV. That you know, at the end of the day, that's kind of the ultimate goal for myself now, which probably wasn't even when I spoke to you the first time. You know, it was more of like I was just enjoying it, and this is a dream that I wanted to do. But the more and more opportunities I get, and the luckier I feel, but at the same time, the more I prepare in terms of like training under people like Mark and getting advice on the regular from people like Mark. Like, I don't know if I told this story the first time, but the first time I went to WWE Cardiff, I literally watched Mark win the NXT UK tag belts, and I was like, this is sick. Imagine what I'd only been training like 5 months. I think I'd made my debut, which is way before I should have made my debut in the place I was at, because I was rotten. I watched that happen. I was like, oh, that'd be cool one day maybe. But like, I then got to wrestle him like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And I remember that being a massive moment. I tell him all the time, like, thank you for that match. If I'd never had that match, maybe I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have known. Like, same with like I wrestled Wild Boar a couple of months earlier. It was like I'd wrestled those two people, and then I wrestled Flash in the space of like 5 months at New Wave. So it's a testament to the opportunities given to really like help me like get better and prepare more to wrestle these kind of wrestlers. As we see like last year, especially, those opportunities came up, and I feel like I always like sort of did a good job in my mind of that, like for the feedback I had of them, and it made me a better wrestler and more prepared to do it. Jim Mark's the man. Like you want to know Brilliance being a bit of an arse about Mark Andrews. Like, I won't be cutting a promo on him because he's one of the best people I've met in wrestling, along with a few others. I'll say it again. I'll say it all the time. Like, the key people in terms of learning and helping me get better and connecting me to people to get better are your Bronco Brown and Whites, your Mark Andrews, your Flash, Morgan Webster's, your Wild Boars, like, and then advice-wise, like your Nico Angelo, Danny Jones, Danny Luna, Elijah, Smith Pins, these people, like, and I'm forgetting people, but like just people who have really, really helped develop me as a wrestler and as a person within this business and how to handle myself.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely more people, but they're the main ones that stand out to me straight away.
I think that really speaks to how, like I usually do like the Mount Rushmore questions and all that, but I feel like for like a Mount Rushmore of the Welsh scene, I can't really do it justice because there's so many people that you could put on that mountain of what they offer, what they provide, and what they give to wrestlers like yourself and the fans. And obviously we see that with New Wave with the opportunities of people they have being brought in for seminars. Like I know Mercedes Monet was there during All In Weekend as well.
When we go in there, like we go in there, New Wave Cardiff is another thing as well. Sorry to get on, I've said like obviously New Wave Newport, New Wave Cardiff as well. Like having those two schools, I go to both of them. Having those two schools and utilizing the brains from each school, I can't recommend enough to people from Wales to do. Like you've literally got it on your doorstep. You know what I mean? Like there's unbelievable like coaching and people who have literally been there and learned off the best, and they're bringing it back and just trying to make Wales as a scene, as I've said, like one of the best in the UK and even Europe. And it's just this small scene that people feel like, but I feel like it's getting bigger and bigger, more eyes on it. But again, it's because people are taking the chance, like Brendan and like Mark, to create their own schools with coaching that's just unbelievable. Sorry.
No, and you really see it as well because you see people from up here in Scotland like Daisy Jenkins, Ashley Vega, Ronan King, Judas Gray, Emerson Jane, all coming down to learn as well. You see it from London as well. That it's became like the hub of learning, opportunity, development. It's fascinating to see. And you know what, James, I want to say as well. Let's say Forbidden Door weekend, Jeff Jarrett comes to New Wave Cardiff, and you get to have a lesson with Double J. Would there be anything in particular you would love to pick his mind at?
How to get into a crowd skin, because I remember watching his entrance. Probably not like in terms of 5-star matches his best match, but his entrance for Ric Flair's last match is absolutely outstanding. I've never seen anything like it. He is viscerally hated, and if you think about it, like it's a hard sell because Jeff Jarrett at this point is like getting a little bit older, and people are really enjoying Double J, and probably, like you say, Heinz is 2020 and giving him the love that he probably deserves, in my opinion, as a wrestler and as a performer. And he comes out and he just completely flips the switch on him, and they're throwing drinks at him and everything. I was just like, what a heel! What a villain! Villain's a good way, and he was the perfect villain for that match. Because the build up to it as well, like just the change in direction of him, and even like he literally on his podcast, he was a villain. You know what I mean? In everything he did, he was a villain. It was just old school, very old school.
It's very true because I feel like, especially with the heel dynamic, even someone like MJF, who's very good on the mic and very good to get under people's skin, there's still like that element of cheering and he's our scumbag, but like there's nobody that you really detest. It's like nobody that it's not like you go to a show and it's like, oh, I want to buy their shirt afterwards, or or anything like you want to heckle them, you despise them, you think there's true villainy behind them. Yeah. Do you think we are in like maybe a new era for heelishness with that villainous and vileness towards it?
Yeah, I think that maybe like in terms of the way things are going, like I think people, even people who want to be heels or want to be or are like destined to be a bad guy when needed on shows, like I think people actually look more and more to be more of a villain than maybe like 10 years ago, where again we were kind of in the I'm a villain, but I wouldn't, if people cheer me because I'm cool, then it doesn't really matter because they still boo me and I can still be a bit of a bell end, you know what I mean? But I think like I always like try my best to stand out because I know what would annoy me, and I try to do that to other people. Like if you see me outside of the ring, I'll be more than professional, courteous, and sign an autograph, or if you want to buy a bit of merch, like I'll happily have a conversation with you. But once I get through the curtain until I finish, unless it's not intended, like, or whatever, I'll play the role they need me to play as best I can. Whereas, as well, I think in the last like 6 months, I feel like if I'm ever needed to play, or needed to be, or the crowd have decided that maybe it's, even if I've been an absolute prick is the best way to put it for the last year, and they decided that maybe it's time we wanna start cheering you, then I will still, as best I can, be the Brilliance James Ellis and be good as gold to them, while just trying to learn that fine art of staying exactly the same, but getting a different reaction to what I usually do in front of a crowd.
I remember seeing on WWE Evil about Randy Orton, about how he got into that.
Favorite example, best thing, doesn't change.
I know.
Literally, good guy, bad guy, doesn't change.
It's beautiful as well, and you see like how he would crunch over, he would actually like just stop breathing and let the blood flow to his head and slap his face and get into that mode. Do you find it easy to get into that mode, or do you feel like with development it's going to be easier and easier to switch into like that pure villain role?
I think like it's definitely still something. I even think now when I most of the time I am a villain in promotions. I still feel like it's something I'm learning as well. I'm learning how to prep. Like I feel like I've definitely got to the point where I can get a lot more calmer. Like, but I feel like I might get on some shows like the Rev Pros where I find it like I get out there and you can see could be some nerves here, you know what I mean? Like you can see it in my face. when I did Scrapmania last year, I was all right when I was in the ring, and I felt calm then. But before, I was walking down that ramp, and I was like my partner, she could see me from the crowd, and she was like, "You were quieter than usual," and she don't like wrestling, and she could tell, and I was like, "Yeah, I was nervous." Like, so you know what I mean? It's that I think if I could get like somewhere where like some people like just get themselves into a zone where for like 2 minutes before you won't hear of them or won't see them, they just by the curtain ready to go. I'm quite calm, and then I can kind of switch it on. But I think I definitely need to get better of just kind of getting into a zone maybe like a minute before it's like my time to go through the curtain, of just being like, right, I'm switching off here, I'm getting in to be in the Brilliance, which I like to think that I'm like 24/7, but sometimes the occasion can get you.
Hey, you're always in the mode, brother. You're always in the mode. But you've done well for yourself. And let's talk about some achievements you've done. Obviously, Pro Wrestling Chaos would give you the award in 2023 for Breakout Star, and just to have that continuation going into 2024 with that kind of award, just to see that, just to get that kind of accolade for Breakout Star of the Year.
I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you. Like, I think the most of 2023, and again, this is what I say to. It's not just training. It's like on these shows and given opportunities. Like Wild Boar and Flash Morgan Webster are obviously the owners of Chaos, which I feuded with as well. But it's a testament to them giving me the opportunity to become a better wrestler, and a better character, understand story and how to be involved in a show like that where it is run very professionally, and luckily, I think, came across well with fans that even though I was hated, they still voted for me to win that award. You know what I mean? And that continued on to 2024 as well, because I was like a member of Severance until April last year with Joe Connors, Tate and Mulligan, and we did a steel cage match. That was the end of Severance. But in my mind, brother, like that only like started escalating. It might have been the end of something, but it was the start of the Brilliance and Chaos proper. And I haven't actually lost a match since April last year at Chaos, and I've won a belt and a cup since then.
You've done well, brother. You've done well. I mean, you've won a few belts in 2024, and we'll definitely get into them. But stars you've wrestled quite a few AEW stars, Leo Rush and Danhausen as well. So I got to know first, how did the Danhausen match come about?
The Danhausen match, so he was booked, and I didn't know till about, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before. I can't remember when the match was announced, but that was the moment I was told that I was wrestling him. I didn't really get how. I was with Big Manager Blanche, the big man. He's my manager at Slam Masters. And yeah, we were told we were wrestling Danhausen, which was kind of honestly quite a shock. He genuinely dreamed to wrestle, to be honest with you. I didn't get the win that night though. But again, one of those things. But I really enjoyed wrestling him. I learned a lot of that match, and he's just lucky that he's not wrestling me next week when he's back in Wales. It's cool. Like, he's literally just been flown over for that show in Wales. So for me as a Welshman, it's very cool to see that these wrestlers want to come over. Like on that, like the last, I don't know if you want to go into it yet, but this still Slam Masters are very good at bringing people over, and I've been very lucky and very fortunate to wrestle a few of the people they brought over. So it's been very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously they brought in Leo Rush, and there was a freeway, Leo, Mark Andrews, and yourself. That kind of freeway match is a spectacle, to say the least. But just your thoughts on wrestling someone who's as crazy as a cruiserweight as Leo Rush.
So like I said, I mentioned wrestling Mark, and to have that. So that weekend, I'd actually wrestled Leo on the Friday as well, at IWN, and that was also a surprise. So I wrestled him twice, and it was not scheduled to wrestle him twice. I wasn't scheduled to wrestle him once. So something happened where the show he was on didn't occur, I can't remember, but he ended up being available to do the Thursday and the Friday IWN show. So on the Thursday, I wrestled Gringo Loco, which is also very cool. And then I got to wrestle Leo on the Friday. And then he went off to Ireland for the Saturday. And then I can't remember what I did on the Saturday. I think I did Attack. I think it was Attack. It was a wild weekend. And then on the Sunday, I was scheduled to wrestle Mark, and Leo got inserted into the match. It became a three-way dance. Now, very clearly, it was not a triple threat match. So I pinned Mark Andrews 1-2-3 that night. But it's one of the wildest matches I've been involved in. Unbelievable. Like, yeah, he's a crazy athlete. I had a lot of fun wrestling him, and I learned a lot off him. I learned a lot about really taking time and being in moments. And yeah, he was very complimentary in his feedback and what I could do to take me to the next level, and what he thought was great as well, which was really nice. So yeah, he was one of the coolest people to wrestle last year. Real nice guy, Leo Rush.
Oh, nice. I mean, he does have those weird jackets with all the spikes on them. So I mean, it's a fashion style.
He brought a whole suitcase just for the jacket. It was unbelievable.
Good Lord Almighty. Obviously, another place you made your debut, obviously, is to OTT, Over the Top Wrestling in Northern Ireland. I had Alexander Vane and James Taylor on. They talked about their opportunity going over there, and I know you went with them as well. Just to have that Welsh representation in a great company like OTT.
So I did the Contenders Camp in April. This was just after all the shows we were just on about. I did the Contenders Camp about a month and a bit later. I did it with James Taylor. Did it on a different one. He did it in November. I did it in April with Alex Vane, the Barbecue, Big Brother Quaid, and Tommy Vrill. We went over from New Wave for that one. And yeah, luckily all four of us were on the Contenders show on the Sunday as well. I got to wrestle. So yeah, I got to technically make the debut in the singles against Keir Noonan, one of Ireland's very good up and coming wrestlers. And yeah, it was a really, really cool show to be a part of. It's the other part of the National Stadium. So you got the 2,000 seater. So there's another room which we were in, which was about 250, 300 in there. Yeah, really, really good. It was sick. And I think really it helped me. I'd recommend to anyone doing those kind of camps, whether it's in there or WXW in Germany. I'm going to try and get over there this year as well. Because I invaluable. If I hadn't done that, maybe I don't get the chance to do Scrapmania in the August. Yeah. So it's for any wrestler, like do these camps if you got the money and the because I know they're a big expense at the end of the day, because you're doing a weekend there as well, or maybe longer. Like if you have the available funds or the extra funds, like do it, because in the long term it's probably invaluable for learning, but also in the short term it's a really good, cool experience to do and to tick off. Even if you just want to do one, just say you've done them. Really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it's a fun scene as well. It's all party and fun over there in OTT. I've seen the tapes, and holy shit, it looks like a fun place to be.
Yeah, I love Ireland as a place. It's just unbelievable. I've been about 5-6 times now, like whether it just be for a day or a weekend. I went to Ireland like 4 times last year. Like once with partner to go to Dublin for the New Year. Was in Temple Bar New Year. That's how I kicked off my 2024. So like just summed up how the year was going to go, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Hey, that's the beauty of it, brother. You know what? It's kind of funny for your third appearance. It kind of references back to your first one, because when you were first on this, you were the inaugural No Mercy Combat Legacy champion, and now you're obviously the first ever Chaos Internet champion. We're going full circle with that, man. I mean, does he have the belt? Does he have the belt?
I have got the belt. Yeah, I think I have on me. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not on eBay, is it? It's like it's not just random.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's just this is more my little like podcast room, but it's usually there. My door is open and it's there. But yeah, there's the belt.
Hey, it's very, very nice. I mean, I like the
beautiful belt. I gotta be honest, really nice belt.
Stunning, brother, stunning. And I mean, how does it feel to have another inaugural championship under your record?
don't know, I'm making a habit of it now, aren't I? That's 3 belts I think I've won. The 3 being the first one. Yeah, because I won the combat champ or the legacy championship, I think it's called now. It was called the Legacy European Championship when I had it. And I was the first ever New Wave champion. I'm wrestling for that belt on Friday against Josh Hawley for the round 2 and I quit match. And yeah, I was the first ever Chaos Internet champion as well. Habit, brilliance, baby.
God, you're just killing it, and I love to see it, brother. You know what? I think that's segues very well into obviously No Mercy, or shall we say, Brilliance Pro Wrestling. Obviously, shenanigans have happened, some chicanery's gone on, and you're now the big chief. So, for quickly, obviously, just for people not familiar, how did this come to be? How did Brilliance Pro Wrestling come to be?
I to be honest with you, I don't really know. It was a gamble that I didn't think would come off. Basically, Bevan, the owner of No Mercy, originally decided to bark up the wrong tree, and that was against the Brilliance. And my secret weapon, not only is he involved in Slam Masters, but he's also involved in Brilliance Pro Wrestling. I'm sorry, I always have to tease it. It's called it's not anymore. It's called Brilliance Pro Wrestling. Big manager Blanche, he is my vice in charge. He's in charge of day-to-day operations. I'm just the figurehead and the handsome face to go with the company. So we got some plans on March 9th. I think I just need Blanche to be honest with you, mate. He does all the admin, and like I said, I'm the wrestler of the setup. So we'll see what I end up doing on March 9th. Who knows? On the next No Mercy show. Oh wait, sorry, it's not No Mercy anymore. It's Brilliance Pro Wrestling.
Well, hey, we got to keep some secrets from the people. You know, they can't know everything going on. So who knows what's going to happen for Brilliance Pro Wrestling?
All I know is Bevan won't be there. He's banned.
Oh, too harsh there, big man. Too harsh. Hey, you're the leader. You're the chargeman. We'll go with your lore. You know, James, as well, number belt we have to talk about, obviously, is the IWN belt that you won. Obviously, you won it. You had defended it a couple of times, and then the company went into a state of vacancy, shut down. It's came back. So if you feel free just to comment on the situation with yourself and the IWN Championship.
Yeah, I've been champ for about a year and a month now. I think I won at the end of January, I think. Yeah, I think I did. It wasn't that much to say. The company went to state of hiatus. I'm still the champion. Obviously, they've come back rebranded as the original. I think they used to be called Fight Nation Wrestling. So who knows? Because the Brilliance James Ellis and Jay Joshua are still the IWN World Champion and Z-Force Champion. And I now understand that there's a FNW British Champion and a FNW Z-Force Champion. So I'm sure one day they will be decided in terms of you have in our minds, the real champions here, and we haven't been given the opportunity to win their other belts for the new company. So I'm sure one day down the line, you'll see me and Jay Joshua in Fight Nation Wrestling. And that's all I'll say on that now. It's not like I'm contractually obliged. That's just all I'll say on it.
Fair dues. I mean, hey, if you end up appearing on that show with a toothpick and all that, I think we know why you're here. So who knows? Who knows, brother? Maybe
I'll buy a ticket. Maybe I'll buy a ticket.
Oh, you cheeky sod. But you know what? One of the biggest things that happened to you last year as well, and I saw it, I was over the moon, was you made your Rev Pro debut. Fucking amazing, mate. Honestly, just wholeheartedly fucking amazing to see you get that opportunity. Sunday, October 13th, you made your debut against Ricky Knight Jr. as well. First off, I would love to know, how did the opportunity come to wrestle for Rev Pro?
I had a call off a certain Brendan White on the Friday before, and he just said, where are you now? And I was like, I'm by my phone. Are you all right? And he was like, I'm going to ring you now. And he rang me. He said, about the call you needed for Rev Pro on Sunday. If you can do it, can you do it? Please say you're free. And I went, I am free and I can do it. And then I didn't know who I was wrestling. And then I seen literally the same day it got announced there was Ricky Knight Jr. Yeah, I got to be honest. Once again, another one of my personal favorite matches of 2024. It was I can't remember the situation, but there was something going on. So the crowd were a bit thing about who was the good guy and who was the bad guy. But by the end, they were pretty sure who the good guy and who the bad guy was, which was nice, I think, in my opinion. He was a dream to wrestle. I'd wrestle him again any day of the week. And yeah, it was. If I didn't have that match, I don't think I'd have been brought back. In my opinion, I think he gave me so much in that match to really like get everything that I did in as a character and as a wrestler. I even think it's helped me improve and think about what I do and added stuff in after that because like I was like, wow, I've done a lot, but I think I could do even more in terms of stuff in the ring. Yeah, not enough. I can't heap enough praise on Ricky Knight Jr. as a wrestler and as a professional. From my own experience, anyways, he was a dream, and yeah, very cool moment. I left there being like, if I don't get to go there again, or I don't get to do it for a while, then I'm quite content because I had a really fun time doing it. And then it happened again, like a month and a half later. So it's very cool, and hopefully it sets the precedent because I don't take those opportunities for granted, but it's cool that I get to do them. Yeah,
absolutely, mate. And I've seen Ricky Knight wrestle twice in person, and he's really something, a really spectacular talent as well. Obviously, it's great you've got your opportunity in the door for Rev Pro, and hope to see it continue. Obviously, Rev Pro do their anniversary shows, and they've done them around the time of obviously when AW do their little weekend here in Britain. What would it mean for you to go from a debut last year for Rev Pro to being on a possible anniversary show?
I think it's the mini goals you set yourself. I don't want to sound too like overzealous, but if you set mini goals for yourself like those or goals in general for a year, I think maybe it's better to say it like you set yourself like 3 goals for the year. Like I haven't actually done that because I feel like I'm just getting my foot in the door. But like they're one of the goals I maybe set for like next year or something like that, But absolutely, I'd love to do something like that. It's like what dreams are made of. What do you get the job for? And again, something like that I wouldn't have even thought was attainable last year, before I made the debut. So you never know. Again, once like I said though, I've been like sort of what's the word? Like I've been told, and it's kind of ingrained in me now that just to say yes to these opportunities if they ever come along. So yeah, I'd love to do it. Right?
Hey, if the hand's offering you an opportunity, you take the hand and you shake it.
Absolutely. Hey, see the brilliance in the copper box,
Hey, I'd be there front row and center with a good old Brilliance sign or a couple of pint or so. So be celebrating for that, brother. I mean, the thing with Rev Pro is that it's got such a great eye on it because you get to see the talent that can go elsewhere. You look at people like, Will Ospreay goes off to AEW New Japan, Zack Sabre Jr. New Japan, Leon Slater, he's gone over to TNA, but like there's that element of branching out with Rev Pro. Who knows, James, maybe this could lead to a New Japan run in the future.
Again, I would never say no to something like that. I think a big goal of mine is to just be able to be a wrestler that could potentially have the opportunity to go anywhere. Because what I do and the way I wrestle or the way the character is moldable to a different audience everywhere. So yeah, would never say no to working in New Japan again. Brilliance in Kraken Hall. Like Japan in general, like there's so much cool stuff going on with Japan at the moment. Like you've got Noah, like you even have like All Japan and places like that and GLEAT. Like there's a lot of different like pies that you could potentially stick your finger in. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I recently had Giovanni Giorgio, who's done the Noah.
Oh, unbelievable! What an announcer! You can just do everything. Announcer, promoter, commentator, and all-round nice guy. Very, very
Yeah.
nice guy, Gio. Helped me a lot when I was first like starting to do different shows in like London and that. Really, really nice guy, and a great asset whenever he's down New Wave as well.
Oh, absolutely. Great guy, great guest. He was really great. And obviously, I loved him talking about the atmosphere of it as well. And, we also had a big discussion about how, in the ring, the wrestlers are like, it's like in a video game. In the ring, the wrestlers are like the main story, but like the commentators are like the side missions. They're adding on that extra layer of knowledge and story upon it. For yourself, James, how much like off insight and contribution do you go for like ring announcing, or you on commentary? Do you give like key points of things to get over, or moves, or styles, or character personalities?
I think especially if you've got someone like, if there's a story that you're doing, it's not just a straight up like wrestling match, or there's just a match with no build. I'll definitely try my best if there's a commentator on to like, if they haven't like seen me before, or they haven't like commented much on me, like this is what I do, this is what my moves are called, or if there's a key story point, like there'll be this happening, or this is what's happened coming into it, because sometimes you can have like one commentator, but you can have like a rotating commentator coming in to partner them. So like, people need to know the full story. So yeah, I'll try my best. And with ring announcing as well, yeah, like I have like what I like to be said if possible, like down to a stick, so they know, like, and luckily a lot of commentators that I'm on the shows I'm on regularly, like know what I'd like from my entrance. So yeah, again, it's like, it's not just the wrestlers, it's from like the referees, the ring announcing, the commentary, to the backstage, to like people who are like helping on the ring and being like crew around like the venue. Some of the shows I'm on, everything is just unbelievably professional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could work a job and you'd be like, these people are not as professional. So yeah, just as much as like I can be a prick, I can also like hand out a compliment when it's needed, like when it's warranted as well.
No, absolutely, brother, indeed. And we talked about Slam Masters Wrestling earlier, but obviously you're going to be doing it March 2nd against a man like Darius. He is an exceptional individual, and it's really fascinating. I talk with a lot of American podcasters and American promoters, and he's just coming on their radar now. We've known him in the UK, and he's been really good. And I was getting that international stardom with the likes of obviously Rio as well. And there's been reports that WWE might be interested in these guys, with Darius and possibly even Rio as well. To see them get that accolade and know that there's that insight on our talent to possibly getting to on a big stage like WWE and joining the likes of obviously Drew McIntyre, Piper Niven, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate. How do you feel like that, just knowing that there is that spotlight from the bigger companies on our talent?
It really gives like people, like everyone, hope, I think, in some way, shape or form. Like, you can take it for what it is, or you can take it with a little bit of like a pinch of salt, or you can take it with like a pinch of like, oh wow, you never know, you know what I mean, pinch of positivity. I think it definitely gives us all hope. I've wrestled Darius a few times now. It's like match 4 we've had one-on-one. I love wrestling Darius. I think he's class. I'd love to beat him like I have before as well, because I feel like he's winning like 2-1 on the round now. But so next week is possibly the chance for me to make it 2-2. So yeah, but I call him a jabroni when I'm in the ring, but as a wrestler, he's one of the best in the UK, and you can only like admire and take notes on the graft he puts in to get himself absolutely everywhere in the world. You know what I mean? Like, when he goes to America, he goes over there for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and he doesn't just wrestle. He goes and trains with like people like, Natalia, and he gets as much as he can from the different minds that are over there. And I think it's also like a testament to the people who like are from there, willing to help people from Britain out, especially like there's British wrestlers over in America who will like go out of their way to like help or like host wrestlers so they can get around and get to different places, and in general put them in contact with people. So it shows that like Britain as a scene like is very solid, in my opinion, from what I've seen since I've been involved, and everyone's willing to help each other get better while also bringing each other up, so we can all try and get that ultimate goal, whatever that may be for each person.
Hey, everybody's unique. Everybody has their own desires and goals, and we can only help each other to get what we desire to have at the end of the day. And, you see people like Progress offering visas for people to wrestle in the States, and that's a great opportunity that we're also supportive. And I love to see that. James, this interview, I like to describe this one, it's like mince and tatties, right? In a weird way, we've had our potatoes, we've had our green beans, but we're going to get into the mince, the meat of this interview. Let's talk about Riot Cabaret.
Riot Cabaret.
So
they're one of my favorite shows to be involved in, and also there's some of the banes of my life there.
Oh boy, shall we get into it? So obviously, when you were last on, you had done a few shows, and you had just gotten your contract opportunity that you then decided to use alongside Mr. Tate Mayfairs to win the Riot Cabaret Tag Team Championships, dethroning Session Moth Martina and Charles Crowley. Just that moment of winning the Riot Cabaret Tag Team Championships and the emotions going through your head at that point.
After winning them,
yeah,
very, very happy because the plan had come off. I think everyone at one point was thinking that it was going to be potentially me, Michael Oku, and Tate Mayfairs in a triple threat for the Riot Cab World Championship, which I'm sure would have been an outstanding match, and the Brilliance probably would have found a way to become the Riot Cabaret World Championship. But why sometimes you've got to, people think that I'm quite a selfish person, but in my mind, the Brilliance, and especially at Riot Cabaret, it's all about brilliance and greatness. So it was good to win the tag team championships with my brother Tate. What followed is a bit annoying, to be honest with you.
Yeah, before we get into that, we'll talk about some more positives as well, because I've had James Lawrence, co-owner of Riot Cabaret, on the show, and he's talked about what he loves building is the fan environment of Riot Cabaret. And I feel like one of that especially is when it's halftime of the show, it's the opportunities for the wrestlers to sell their merch in that little lovely corner with his all little stylish and all that, and by the ring as well. What do you feel Riot Cabaret brings as to the environment of the wrestling fans, and just generally what that environment is?
I think it mixes it's a real mix of entertainment. If anything, it is like a variety show. It is like a cabaret show. It does what it says on the tin, and it really is able to bring in the non-wrestling fan and really show them what wrestling is, but also entertain them for the evening that they want to come back. And I think that in itself is like a testament to the fact that I don't know, I think they sold out the last show, but definitely the three before, they sold out way before it was showtime. So I think that there's a brand being built there as well around, and they invest, and they also give opportunities to a lot of different people from all over the UK to come and ply their trade in London, which is, from what I've seen, like one of the biggest scenes still. It's on a Tuesday night, you're drawing 500 people. That's wild. You won't get that anywhere else. So it gives everyone the opportunity to work in the week as well, which is very cool, and it's a very different environment. And yeah, I've got to be honest, I've loved being a part of them shows. I think it all stemmed from doing Attack again. Mark Andrews really invested in the people that and helping the people out that he feels have listened to him or he just felt like helping me. I don't know. But I feel like I've had a lot of opportunity off Mark. I've always tried to do my best to basically say thank you for the opportunity. I hope that was what you wanted. I remember we did that show at Wrestle Splits from Pins, very special match actually, because we led into our ladder match at Attack after in 2023, and that then stemmed everything that they had me back on, and it went on into a different different kind of story. So it was very cool. Sorry, I was thinking about wrestling splits for a second, and I went off Riot Cabaret. It's just sad I can't wrestle him again. So he's a great coach, but he was one of my favorite opponents to wrestle as well.
Yeah, I'm happily raise a drink to Split Pain, the guy I always hear great things about, and shame his in-ring careers are over, but he's able to teach and offer great insight. So to Split,
he gets, I think he gets another sort of fulfillment out of wrestling now. But I'm so glad he's still around it, because he's one of my best friends outside of the ring as well. Sorry. So back to Riot Cabaret. He'll love the fact I was soppy for a moment then. Yeah, so no, it's as James Lawrence has pretty much hit on the head there. It's like managed to get the non-wrestling fan in, and it's very entertaining. So yeah,
Oh,
that's the last bit of positivity at me at Riot Cabaret now, because I haven't got my tag belts, and you know what
yes,
happens next.
let's get into that. All right. So obviously, you and Tate held the belts for 224 days, and you had a successful 4-way defense at All Singing All Dancing last year. And at Slamamia, here we go again. You lost the belt to Sunshine Machine in a slam ball match. Very creative.
All right, no, one more bit of positivity, because that is genuinely, I hate losing, right? I'm a winner at heart, and I hate losing, but that is one of the most fun matches I've ever done in terms of stipulations. If you get down to Riot Cab this year, like hopefully the All-In weekend when they run, definitely go, and hopefully there's a slam ball match on, because I would do that match again in a heartbeat.
Oh, I'll make sure to message James and ask him to put that match on personally for myself. But the loss, right? Obviously, I've had Tate on the show before twice, and he's been good to me. He's been good to me, and you've been good to me. But I got to talk about Klassy Karen, or I know you're no fan, right? But what is going on?
You tell me, brother. Like I've said from the start, I literally have said from the start, there's something not right with her. It's Karen Moth. Like it is such a moth in a hat. I don't call her Klassy Karen. I call her Karen Moth, because in my mind, that is not Klassy Karen. There's nothing classy about her. I don't get what the obsession is. Like, I don't care if she helped us win the tag or retain the tag titles. She definitely lost us the tag titles last week at Riot Cabaret. And I just think there's something at play. I've tried my best. Tate's my brother. You got to make his own decisions. I think he's roped me into being best man at this wedding after he proposed to it. I thought he was going to go out there and finish it all. And he shocked me when he did. I went straight to the bar. I didn't even go backstage. I went straight to the bar to get a can. I couldn't believe what I just seen.
Do you trust Tate?
It's a loaded question. Brilliance is, I'm a selfish person, but I feel like there's always room for a bit of trust with people.
James, I think I need to show you something, right? You've been good to me. You were on my first season. You came back for the 100. And yes, I've had Tate and Session Off on before, but you've been really good to me. So I think I need to show you something.
We cashed in. I love a good cash in, as you know. We won those championships in seconds flat. And there we are. The Riot Cabaret Tag Team Championships. Like James, we have fun. He gets it. He knows his role. And we're looking forward to... I think Riot Cabaret is one of the hottest wrestling promotions in Europe. I think they do really exciting, fun stuff. The venue is beautiful. The shows are lots of fun. Me and James, this is our second tag team title that we have now won together. We won the Chaos tag team titles back last year. We're both two individuals who love our individual life and do our own individual things. We live different corners of the country. I let him stay in that stinkhole Swansea as much as he likes, as long as he knows his role and he listens to me. I guide him to greatness. And look, he thought he might use this cash in on a singles title, and I said, "You're not ready yet, brother." But I tell you what, me and you, tag title, that's a possibility. And he listened, and here we are, tag team champions.
Your thoughts?
It's Tate, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's Tate. Like, that's the way he is. Now, I've told you literally earlier in the podcast that why would I be selfish? You know, at the end of the day, I saw the opportunity to win the tag titles with my friend because the Brilliance, I think it might be a Welsh thing, although I didn't enjoy him saying Swansea was a stinkhole. We actually had an argument about that in the ring at Riot Cab because people were calling West London a shithole, and I agreed with them. And he said Swansea was a shithole. So it's just one of those things where brothers argue. But at the end of the day, Swansea is the best city in the absolute world, let alone it's the centre of Brilliance country. You know what I mean? And Brilliance country is everywhere. So it's the capital of Brilliance country. But on some of the other things he said, guiding me it's a strong word. I feel like he's been guided by his emotions recently. And he also mentioned that yes, we are definitely two individuals that have individual goals, and we come together and we won 2 tag titles. But sadly, both those tag titles have been lost without me actually involved in the match. So I was substituted out at Riot Cabaret, and then Karen Moth and Tate lost the tag titles. And then at Chaos, Tate and Mulligan lost the tag titles. So there could be a recurring theme there that maybe me and Tate don't win the tag titles ever again. But why would I talk about that right now? Because at the end of the day, I literally spoke to you earlier about how positive I am and how much I like to see the best in things. And at the end of the day, we may have lost the Chaos tag titles and may have lost the Riot Cabaret tag titles, but I also have this title over here, the Chaos Internet Championship. And I could sit here and like moan about him and Karen Moth and him basically pulling the wool from under my eyes because I didn't know that was happening. But at the same time, he asked me to be his best man, and I'll do exactly what's needed to be the best man for Tate Mayfairs and do exactly what the Brilliance would do for a brother, even if they've doubted him or what's the best way to put it? Underestimated him. I'd still be the best man that they needed me to be.
Hey, fully on board with you, mate. I just wanted to my due diligence and give you a warning because we've seen what Tate's like. I just want you to be on guard in case, of course. I want that the best for you. I mean,
don't worry.
Let's focus on the positive. Hey, let's talk about this wedding. You know, I mean, you're the best man for them both. I mean, you must have some antics, some surprises, some bachelor party stuff in the can.
Well, I haven't actually I've been told I'm his best mate. I've officially been told I'm his best man, but I'm assuming from everything that's gone on that I am the best man. I don't even know if Karen Moth will have. Is it a bridesmaid for her? I'm not sure, but I don't know if she will or not. Or I might just be the best man for the whole wedding. I've got a few ideas for the bachelor party. The stag do. I've been on a few stag do's myself, and as Welsh, we like to do a good stag do. So I'll keep them under wraps for now. But just know there's some ideas there.
Oh, I mean, seeing you have a party or two of a couple of drinks, so I'm sure it's going to be an absolute banger of a one. So hey, that's the fun of it. But you know what? Let's talk about that weekend as well, because you were quite busy that weekend as well, because you wrestled the free show, North, Hustle and Attack, right? On that all-in weekend.
Yes, yeah.
Oof. God, it
was a wild like 5 days, to be honest with you.
My God, how did you do it, man?
I don't know. I did a local show in Wales on the Thursday. Then I did Riot Cab on the Friday. Then I did Attack in the morning. That's the first time a morning show I've done, which was sick. 11 o'clock. And then I did, in the afternoon, I did Elevation in Leicester. So I went from London to Leicester. And then I did Elevation again on the Sunday. I then drove home from Leicester, which is about a 3.5 hour forward drive.
Oh my God, you're a true.
And let me tell you, I had a good time. There was some parties happening as well.
I'm sure with Forbidden Door weekend there will be a continuing party atmosphere as well. I mean that's the joy of it, really. That wrestling right now is in such an amazing place. Obviously, WWE on Netflix, you've got AW on HBO Max, TNA have their own streaming, Rev Pro, Progress, Riot Cabaret have got On Gold as well. And I think it really caters to this digital age we are in. James, how do you feel like the outsourcing of wrestling content to streaming sites and streaming platforms will influence the product in the future years?
I think it's undeniable in how much it'll help. I think even the WWE moving to Netflix, like you can already see the difference in like the viewership and other things as well. And I think that comes down, like, even from a digital standpoint all the way down to the crowds. Like I've seen like literally crowds for like Attack, Chaos, like I New Wave as well. I've already done like sellouts, for each show this year already, and we're approaching it. I think another sellout for New Wave on this Friday coming. That's show 2 already of this year, and we're only like halfway through February, just over halfway through February. But then I think that what's great is it comes from like from another level as well. Like you do these like the Welsh wrestling shows. I've mentioned them. Like I can't say enough. Again, like in terms of like opportunities and that, like Alan Ravenhill who owns Welsh Wrestling really like does help a lot of like a lot of the younger guys out in giving them plenty of opportunity to get in front of these crowds. And I do really think that them crowds as well, like from like a younger audience level, are all going to them because they see it on Netflix, and that's again it just helps everyone out across the board. Like I've mentioned like New Wave, Chaos, Attack, Welsh, No Mercy as well, Overdrive. Doing a show down local in Swansea that exists. I'm sure that will that's a different kind of vibe. I'm sure I missed someone now out of there, but in Wales. But like all of them, like obviously Chaos is England, sorry, but like the ones I've just mentioned are all Welsh as well. So there's a lot going on, and the crowds seem to be coming. So I think that's a benefit of all of the available wrestling content, and these people just want to see it live as well. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, mate, as well. Do you feel like with this new eyes on wrestling as a whole, that you approach every match that there could be some people who it's the first time for wrestling, or do you always have that mindset of it could be someone's first time watching the show?
Yeah, I always treat it like it's the first time. You'll have those shows where like your New Waves and like I said, Attacks and Chaoses, and then like to the extent like Mercy's probably where there's regular fans coming to see, and they're invested in the stories of the people that are on the show regularly. But I think it's kind of a I don't know, a bit of an ego thing to consider like these fans will know who I am, because you never know, they may not know who I am. So I always treat the crowd the same and try to work it exactly the same as I would if I was in a completely new place, in a completely new promotion, because they get a fresh feel every time then.
Absolutely, you got to really treat it like that. Obviously, though, with WWE on Netflix, they can't import everything. I mean, I think Netflix servers can only handle so much content before they literally explode. Obviously, we've not got stuff like NXT UK, ECW, WCW, Tough Enough, documentaries, all the original content. Maybe in due time, obviously, you test out how the waters are with the servers, and then you incorporate stuff later on. James, is there anything particular from the network you would like to see get immediately over to Netflix as soon as possible?
I kind of like watching like old ECW, like 99, 2000. Like Steve Corino is one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. So it would be nice to watch it, just being able just to watch on demand, like his sort of stuff in ECW, especially towards just before he left. I like the documentaries as well, man. I like watching the documentaries. I enjoyed like the Monday Night Wars, the Ruthless Aggression era, like them sort of documentaries. I'll miss them, and like the ones that are just on like the superstars themselves, like the backstory docs. I like to watch and enjoy them sort of things. So yeah, that'd be something for me.
Oh yeah, I love the WWE 24, the one they did last on Damian Priest. I thought was really, really good.
Yeah,
I would love to see them do it on maybe Cena with his last year, like as a documentary. We talked about that a wee bit earlier before. I mean, like there's so many great things as well. I mean, who do you think right now on that roster could benefit from like a WWE documentary that gives more insight to who they are, and they might not be as popular as they are with the crowd, but that kind of documentary could give them an extra boost?
I don't know actually, because I was like my original. I know you said like not as popular with the crowd, but my first idea would be like to watch like Chad Gable one. So I think he's the most. He's so over right now, and he's just an absolute pleasure to watch. Like, unbelievable wrestler, really good personality. You can clearly see it's kind of just him, and it comes out like the goofy side, but then the serious like wrestler side as well. It's all him as a person. So, yeah, I think Chad Gable would be the one for me to watch. Like, I'd enjoy watching that.
Oh, that'd be very fun. I would love to see
He'd
the
be
whole.
someone to learn off. I'd love to learn off him.
Oh, come on now. You can't beat the luchadors. You got to be careful there, James. That's the weakness. The luchadors are the weakness for Chad Gable. So you know that point. So just avoid the masks. Avoid the masks. But as well, you know, this year we're in that Mania season. Also, the Royal Rumbles happened. Jey Uso won, made everyone really angry. Charlotte Flair won, made people even more angry. Why do you think people were angry about a surprise like Jey Uso winning?
I don't know. I thought like I'm in the territory of, if you hear the crowd after the live audience, that sums up the reaction you need to know as to why that decision was made. You know, I haven't really got anything else to comment on that. I was quite surprised by Charlotte Flair winning. But again, it's a shock factor. It's different. And it's nice to have two Rumbles where you probably couldn't have predicted the winner. So, yeah, enjoyed overall.
Very fresh and very enjoyable. I was staying up until like 5 a.m. and when Jay won, my mouth was on the floor. I was like, oh, I have been surprised. I've been bamboozled. Good Lord. All right. Hey, I like it. But obviously, we've got Elimination Chamber coming up. At the time we're recording, the lineup is CM Punk, John Cena, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and Logan Paul. A lot of people want Cena to win, myself included. And to get to Mania, do you think there is a realistic chance and a good opportunity that we could see Cena at Mania get the 17 and break Ric Flair's record?
There's a very good chance, yeah. 100%. I think my heart says I'd like Cena to win, but my head and probably a little bit of my heart as well would like to see CM Punk win, because I'm a big CM Punk fan. And I like the fact that he kind of he's just a bit stone coldish now. He's like, don't like you, but like, I'm just gonna say my mind, and then people just cheer him. He's like, oh well, I'm just speaking my mind.
It works. People have that connection with him.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I mean, but then I would be nice to see Drew McIntyre win it and have a nice ring with it as well. So, you know, his card at the moment is outstanding. It's just him. You know what I mean? He's brilliant.
Yeah. Every time I've seen Drew in person, he loses. So I kind of need to break that streak. So it's
you definitely do.
Yeah. Clash Wales lost. Mania 39 lost. Clash Scotland lost. The fucking Punk. To break the streak. Need to break the streak. But you know what? Speaking of, we don't have a UK PLE this year at the time of recording announced. We had one for 2022, 2023, and 2024 with Clash, Money in the Bank, and Clash in Scotland. Obviously, we have Clash in Paris, but is there a particular pay-per-view you would like to see come to the UK? And if so, and if John Cena is defending his title on it, who would you like his opponent to be for the UK?
SummerSlam. I'd probably like CM Punk. It'd be a nice throwback.
SummerSlam in the UK, James. We rain all the time. That's not appropriate. It'd be Rainy Slam.
I know, but you know, I mean, it's probably not realistic this year because of another show running in the summer. But it's just be cool because again, the one we had before was SummerSlam, and it'd be nice to have the titular, you know, pay-per-view back for another show.
Tradition is good, and it's good as gold, like the Brilliance himself, my friends. James, it's been a pleasure to have you back on for your third appearance. So we'll wrap up here with one final thing. You know, we're in the start of the year, and there's so many great things going on. But obviously, there's always new things happening and new faces. For yourself, is there any particular new faces in the Welsh scene that appeal to you and think, I can make magic with them in the ring, and I see them going far?
I've wrestled both the people I'm going to say out loud now. I have wrestled. I can't remember where I've wrestled them. Last year was a long but great year with a lot of different matches. But I'd like to wrestle Leon Cage in Wales. I don't know where, but somewhere. I think we'd have a great match. I'd also love to wrestle him on Rev Pro as well. I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be a nice all Welsh match. But also like either team with or potentially be in triple threat match because we generally are both villains on shows. I have wrestled him as a babyface twice, but I think he's better as a villain. I'd like to wrestle Tommy Vril, maybe Tommy Vril and Leon Cage in a triple threat match. I think that might be some money somewhere. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch Tommy Vril, then watch him because he's been wrestling for like 2 years now, or training for 2 years, and he's just unbelievable. So different. Just what a character.
It's funny you mentioned that. Gio said he wanted to bring him in for Pro Wrestling Ceasefire, so I definitely have to check out Tommy now and see what's all the buzz about. I need to have a look. So I'm excited for that one. I'll be doing my homework, brother. Oh, James, it's been great to have you back on, mate. And of course, folks, if you love what you've heard of the Brilliance, I will put a link to his Instagram down below.
I got one more thing to say before we go.
Go.
Like, I'm a very, like I said, we've talked about tag teams, and I think you'll love the fact this is the last thing I say, because I am the Brilliance, I'm always good as gold, and I am generally quite it's all for me, so I'm on my own when it comes to this stuff. But I have, obviously, we talked about Tate. There's another person I've won tag team championships with, and that is my friend who is probably my forever wrestling tag partner, because he's also been a rival but turned tag partner. And that's the in my tag team that is Taylor Made Brilliance. That's James Taylor. So I'd like to give a shout out to James Taylor, who's also been on the show. I know he's given some compliments to me. So yeah, he's the man. One of my favorite people. And just before you wrap it up, I just wanted to mention the Taylor Made Man, because I feel like we haven't touched upon him properly.
The Taylor Made Man is a fun fella. Been on this show. He loves his carnivore diet instead of Martin McAllister's vegan diet. So he loves his carnivore diet. He's on that style, brother. I mean, who knows? Taylor Made Brilliance could maybe get the Riot Cabaret Tag Team Championships in the future. I mean, who knows? Well,
who knows, innit? You never know. But yeah. Sorry, last round. Sorry to keep it on a little bit longer, but I just wanted to make that shout out.
Fair play. I will make time for the Brilliance, no matter high water or the darkness of the clouds looking at me right now. I will always make the time for the Brilliance, brother. Well, folks, again, if you love what you've heard of the Brilliance, Instagram link down below. You've got merch as well, James. People get some. It's amazing. It's brilliant, some shall say. Who knows? Maybe I might rock some to Vegas this year. So,
come on. The green one I just released is sick. That's the big one. I got a nice grey one as well. It's just been released. They've just been ordered now, but there's plenty to go around. And I got some beanies as well.
So if you see the guy in the Brilliant shirt at Mania, you know where I am. Well, folks, as a Scotsman, finish up your pint, put your chairs away, and thank you as always for tuning in for a brilliant episode of the Soul Sessions.
Thank you.
Pleasure, brother.
Now I'm out there here gonna live like animals do. No more laws and no more rules.